think we all get the feeling that something just isn't right in the world. Welcome, fellow foilers, to the Tin Foil Hat Club, where we dare to discuss all the things we don't talk about in church. And where yesterday's fiction becomes tomorrow's fact.
When you've got a government that's lying to your face, controlling the information through the media that it owns, that's not a recipe for peace in a civilization.
Atomic.
The electromagnetic waves affecting our planet.
Megalithic cyclopean sites.
Anderson Cooper, intern for the CIA.
Watchers in the days of Noah.
Well, hello and welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me for this update. I wanted to get with you guys typically once a month. I did push this back a week. I just needed some more time to get some more information before I officially and gather my thoughts before I officially got in front of you guys and actually gave you the update, filled you in on everything that was going on, and let you know kind of what the future looks like for the foil. So a couple things. First of all, thank you guys so much for everything. It has been such a blessing for us to continue to do the show and watch the growth of the show. It's been really just incredible to be a part of this. God has been so good to us, as have all of you. And we're going to ask for that continued support, and we're going to really need it as we move forward. So I'll announce the most major thing that we have coming up that's really going to kind of change the landscape of the show pretty much permanently as we go forward. I'll share that last just so I can explain and expound. And if you guys jump on here and you have questions along the way, you can ask. But yeah, we have a major announcement coming at the end of this that you are definitely going to want to hear, because it is going to forever change what the show looks like. It's going to be a little bit different as we move forward in time because of this change. So stay tuned on that front. I have a couple quick other things to get to, and I definitely would love to share that with you. So if you have questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the chat. But I like to give these updates to you guys just so you know where we are. First of all, one of the things that we're going to be reversing course on is actually we made it a part of the regular foiler plan to have guest episodes. You had to be at least a regular foiler in order to get access to the guest episode lives. We're going to reverse that. It caused way too much confusion. The HD only will still have access to their live streams. It will just be HD only one time a month for their live streams, but all the other live streams are going to be open back up to everyone. Again, it was just too confusing as to what level you needed to be in order to get access to what. So we're going to reverse that. And that actually brings me to a second thing that actually has happened here recently. Guys, I don't know what to tell you, but for some reason, I think the devil really doesn't like what we're doing, and he has been out to sabotage us at every turn for whatever reason. We had a live stream, I believe, with Doug Van Dorn, I think it was. One of our live streams we had scheduled completely, for whatever reason, just totally didn't even start on YouTube. There was no rhyme or reason for that. It went off fine on Rumble. It went off fine everywhere else. But for whatever reason, YouTube, it never even saw the light of day. So I actually went back in and I edited that episode and released it out there so everybody could see it. So that was issue number one. The other issue that I think is really happening, and this is something that you guys really need to help us with, which is checking your spam. I think a lot of our emails are going into your spam folders. Obviously, we all get a lot of spam email nowadays, and the algorithms inside of our emails even like to send things to spam that really shouldn't be in spam. And I think a lot of you guys are getting our emails sent to spam because we're sending out more frequently now to keep you guys updated when live shows are happening and guests and all this and that. So please make sure you are going in and checking your spam folder in your email to make sure that we are not heading there. If you have not seen an email from us in a while and you know you're subscribed to the newsletter, you definitely need to go in and check your spam, because I guarantee you we are probably sitting in there. I believe that is probably the reason why we had a member recently that got very upset with us, felt like they were getting gypped out or ripped off out of their money. for their membership, and in the instance of an HD episode, all of those, the access for those episodes are sent the day of the show. That way you guys know exactly what the link is to get in. And I think that this particular individual maybe had us going to spam or whatever the case was, but I know that we actually sent them the link. They claimed they couldn't get that. And then that, coupled with the fact that they couldn't see the YouTube video from the previous live stream, I think left them with a sour taste in their mouth. They got mad. They canceled their subscription. And it was really unfortunate. I tried to explain things to them, but I think the damage was done at that point. And I hope they give us a second chance down the line. So, yeah, so would really appreciate if you guys would do that. Also, if you haven't already taken advantage of our $9.99 show teas, you're going to want to do this because this is a great deal. If you have not signed up for our newsletter, all you need to do is head over to our website, thetfhc.com, and you can actually fill out the pop-up that comes up, and you can get a $9.99 podcast tea. All right. There's going to be an email sent to you with instructions on what you need to do in order to do that. If you are an existing member and you want to take advantage of this, check your email again, because we probably sent out some instructions on how you guys can claim this. And so far, we've only had I think one person take advantage of this, but this is a really good way to support the show. I'm going to tell you straight up, guys, we literally are making nothing on this. Actually, we might even be losing a few cents. Shipping just went up. So honestly, we're doing this because it's advertising on your backs that you guys can walk around with. So that would help us out. Would really appreciate it. So thank you guys very much. So I'm going to have an announcement at the end, like I said, that may impact whether or not you want to do a show tea, because we got some changes coming, but just hang in there. I'll get to those here in a second. The show is not going away. I just want to clarify that now. If you're thinking that the show is going to be vanishing from the earth, it's not, but it is going to be changing. And again, I will explain that here in a second. So yeah, Sherry just said here, it's been baffling me on how to catching your shows. I do my best to follow and love all the shows. I'm not a paid member though. Yeah, Sherry, I know it's been confusing. The live streams are going to be changing here in the future as well. And it'll make more sense when I get to the end of kind of explaining what's going to be happening with some of the changes that are coming up. So HD only episode links. So again, if we do have some live streams coming up, we have one more HD live stream coming up with Dr. Joy Pugh this coming Sunday. So if you are an HD member, you are going to be getting announcements about this. All right. You're going to see several emails coming out trying to tell everybody, hey, if you want to be part of the show, you want to be part of the live stream, you're going to need to sign up to become an HD member. For you HD members, you're going to need to go into your email the day of the show, and you will find in there the link. You can also go into your Supercast account. I'm going to have a backup there and make sure I go into Supercast and put a post in there as well, so you guys have access to the show link. Obviously, I can't put it out on YouTube, because if I do that and I make it public, then everybody can join. And that's really one of the limitations of YouTube. I have to make it unlisted or private. That way it's not out there publicly for everybody in the world to get access to. Otherwise, there's no point in being a member to the show, and anybody can get access to it. So it's kind of a little bit of a conflict as far as how YouTube works. And I will take the $9.99 podcast tea off so you can see me. So yeah. So just make sure you're checking your email, make sure we're not going to spam, and then check your email the day of so that you have access to the HD episodes. Okay, so a couple milestone announcements. Thanks to you guys, and thanks to the grace of the Lord above, we have actually hit the top 5% of all podcasts globally. So every single podcast in the world, we are in the top 5% of those. So that is a major accomplishment. Thank you guys so much. If you go on to Listen Notes, you can actually check any podcast you want on there and see where they rank globally. Like, for instance, in our realm, Blurry Creatures, I believe, is in the top 0.01%. We're in the top 5%. So just to give you a little bit of feeler here and there. So we're continuing to work on the next milestone, which should be the next top 2.5, I think is probably the next thing that'll take off. So thank you guys for all of your support and your continued love on that front. All right. And honestly, guys, next thing would be, if you are not a member currently, or, not supporting the show in any way, we please ask that you would support the show. Financially obviously helps, whether that's becoming a member, you can donate to the show, buying some merch, whatever the case is. But hey, if you don't have the money to do that, what you can do to help us out, and this is even just as good, is please just go on and make sure that you're interacting with us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, wherever you listen to us, wherever you watch us. Make sure that you're actually going on there, you're liking, you're subscribing, you're following, and you are giving us a review. If you feel we're worthy of 5 stars, please give us 5 stars if you're listening on Spotify or Apple. That way we can get our rating up, and that will help push it in front of more people. And please consider leaving us a written review. We would love those, and would really appreciate that as well. Okay, so the major announcement I had. So I'm going to try to cover this as best I can. And thank you, Sherry, very much. As far as Justin, I see you popping on there. Thank you. Always good to see you, my friend. So Ben is going to be stepping away from the show. That's the major announcement. I'm just going to get it right out there. And I know the world loves a scandal, and I know the world loves, bad blood, but there's no bad blood. There's no, secret behind the scenes stuff. Long story short, guys, as the show has grown, the demands have increased for everything. And Ben just doesn't really feel like he can meet the time demands that are put on us to do all the things that we're going to need to do as far as going to conferences and, reading books and preparing for guests and just all those things. He's got a full-time job, and he now has kids that are all off in college. And so he's an empty nester now, and things in life just have changed for him. And he's just kind of feeling like this is a particular time where he can take the exit ramp off the highway and just kind of focus on his life at home. We talked, and I wanted to continue on, and he wanted to take the exit ramp, and we were both perfectly fine with the decision that each of us made to do that. So Ben is going to be exiting the show. He's already kind of stepped away, and we're talking about possibly having him on for one final show. We'll see if he wants to do that or not, but you may have already seen the last of Ben. I'm not sure. So I'm waiting to kind of talk to him and figure out what we want to do there. But we're going to be ultimately winding down the Tinfoil Hat Club as you know it. Now, the show is not going away. I said that earlier. So I want to assure you that the show goes on, right? I want to continue this journey with you guys. I'm going to continue this journey with you guys, but it's going to be different. It's just going to be me. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do on the off weeks when we don't have guests. We may be having more guests on. I may be doing some individualized teaching with you guys. We have several unreleased shows that we have recorded, so we do have a little bit of buffer of shows to help us transition. And this transition is going to take a little bit of time, so it's probably going to be a month or two before we fully transition over to what the new show looks like. And with that, there is going to be a rebrand of the show. So I felt like the Tinfoil Hat Club, I'm going to leave that kind of in the history of the past with Ben and I. We're going to kind of run the tap dry on that. But at the same time, I'm going to be continuing and recording guests with guests and doing shows and recording material. And we're going to be rebranding the show. So I just kind of wanted to have something that was a fresh start, was my own. All of the episodes, every single episode that is Tinfoil Hat, they're not going to be going away. They're going to be available. They're going to be in still there. You're still going to have access to that. It's not going to affect you guys and your membership whatsoever. Everything that you have access to today, you'll have access to as you move forward. And you're going to have new material that is going to just be rebranded differently. And I am working on that branding right now. And all of the things that go into that, it's a major undertaking. I have to rebrand every single thing we have. I have to rebrand our merchandise. I have to rebrand all of our social media. I have to rebrand our website and reskin our website, our email, just everything and anything you can imagine that is attached to the Tinfoil Hat Club is going to have to get rebranded. But that's okay, because it allows me to create a brand that will just be me and some things that I want to do with that in the future. So again, not going to affect anything. The show isn't going to change. I'm not going to change the format of the show. It's still going to be the exact same thing that we've always done. It's going to be me talking to guests. We're going to be focusing on spiritual warfare. We're going to be focusing on all the fringe, biblical, and conspiratorial things the church doesn't like to talk about. That isn't going to change. I'm looking forward to diving in more with these guests. One of the things, and I'll credit Justin for this, he inspired me to do this, is to really research these guests and really read their material before we have them on the show. And that takes time. For instance, I'm in the process right now of reading Joy Pugh's book, Beast Mark, for our conversation for Sunday. I think it will really enhance the shows. It will really enable me as the host to be able to get more out of it. So there you go. That's one of the things that we're going to focus on. I'm going to start going to conferences. I will be at a conference in June. I will be at a conference in July. There's actually a conference in August that I may be going to. And I have actually asked to speak at a conference that is coming up, I believe, in September down in Dallas. So I'll keep you guys posted on that front. But I want to get out there. I want to actually do speaking arrangements at these various conferences. And I want to do a lot of major things to grow the show. And Justin just said we can do some stuff, and we've talked about that in the past as well, potentially. So, and that's another thing too, is there may be some collaborations with other podcasters. I would love to have, Chastity back on. I'd love to do some stuff with Justin. There's quite a few of us out there that we can actually collaborate on and do some stuff. So that is going to be what's coming up on the change of the Tinfoil Hat Club. So stay tuned. I will let you know when I officially have what the new brand is going to be. I'll keep you guys posted. It's not going to be one thing one day and the next thing something different. I'm going to try to make sure that this information rolls out to everybody over time so that everybody knows exactly what is going on. So, and thank you, man. I really appreciate that, Robert. I really appreciate that. He said, you'll do great. Be here for you all the way. Yes, your foiler shirt, Sherry, is now vintage, and those shirts will still be available. We'll keep them in there. So for you, those that are the OG members, right? You guys that were the original supporting cast, we'll still have those in the vault, maybe for you guys to get access to. I don't know how that works yet. We'll figure that out, but there's some cool stuff that we can do. But yeah, we'll have all these episodes vaulted so that you guys can still get access to them. And again, if what you can get access to now is what you're going to get access to. If you're a member, if you're not a member or whatever, you're going to have the same exact access level. Okay. So we may even have a few episodes that we don't release because we're coming up on 100. That may just be going into the HD vaults to kind of sweeten the deal there, maybe for the regular folders. I don't know yet. Again, I'm still trying to figure this out. Ben and I just had this conversation, I believe, last week. So I've been really racking my brain figuring out, okay, what does the future look like? So, but I know that is what the future does look like as far as the changes that are coming. So, the Dude Show. There you go. There you go, bro. So, yeah. Any questions you guys have, feel free to reach out. The dudes at the TFHC.com. Obviously, that's another thing. Going to be changing the email. Going to be changing the website around. There's probably going to be a new website to go with the new rebrand. And something that can be just something that I can roll forward with. That's kind of along the lines of a book I'm writing as well on a particular set of topics of kind of what we've been discussing on the show. So there's all this kind of in my mind down the line tying together. So there you go, guys. That is the skinny for today. Again, nothing's going to change other than a rebranding of the show. If whatever access you have today, you'll have tomorrow. The only things that are going to probably be changing, I'm going to be very transparent and honest with you. There's probably going to be one change that I'm going to do with the show, and the live streams might have to go away. They are very demanding, very difficult, and I have never found a good platform to do it. I thought Restream was going to be a really good solution to that, but I have found a ton of problems in there. For whatever reason, there's a syncing problem when we interview guests. The audio gets all out of sync with on our end of the coin, not with the guest. So we might have to just put the pin in those. They're very demanding. So, but they're going to continue for now, at least for the short time. And then just be patient with me as we move forward, and I'll keep you guys posted as best I can. So thank you guys so much. Continue to have all the love and support, and literally just please continue to pray for the show. Continue to pray for myself, pray for Ben, our families. I will be transparent and honest with you guys on this front too. This has not been an easy journey. It really has not. When you understand, and Justin can relate to this, when you do this full time and the show grows to the point that it has, it is a monster to try to keep in check and keep reined in and provide quality content to all you guys. There's a ton of time, ton of effort, ton of equipment. I am actually driving Uber full time now just to help pay the bills because the podcast is not there yet. So until you really get into the very, very top tier echelon, you really just don't make enough to support your family. So this is a labor of love, and it's not for everybody when it gets down in the dirt and the nitty gritty. And that's why 90% of podcasts fail before they get to episode 10. Everybody thinks they're going to be Joe Rogan, and it don't happen, y'all. 99% of podcasts never make it to 20 episodes. So there's a reason for that. We are getting ready to hit 100. 100 seems like a very natural point to kind of make the break between the Tinfoil Hat Club and the new brand. So again, I'll keep you guys posted, and I appreciate it and love you all very much. And I will take care of you guys. So going forward, I know you're going to enjoy what we got coming up. So thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later and catch you next time. Got to change my catchphrases too, man. I'm so used to saying those. It's going to change. It's all weird. So take care, guys. I think we all get the feeling that something just isn't right in the world. Welcome, fellow foilers, to the Tinfoil Hat Club, where we dare to discuss all the things we don't talk about in church. And where yesterday's fiction becomes tomorrow's fact.
When you've got a government that's lying to your face, controlling the information through the media that it owns, that's not a recipe for peace in a civilization.
Atomic. The electromagnetic waves affecting our planet.
Megalithic cyclopean sites.
Anderson Cooper, intern for the CIA.
Watchers in the days of Noah.